This one feature is absolutely broken in college football 26, and we're gonna cover it in this video, man. For me, I'm gonna show y'all one example, but it's probably a ton of other examples of this one aspect of the game just really being flawed for your dynasty team. So I'm gonna quickly explain what I'm talking about, and then we'll show you. So we're a brand new dynasty, fresh dynasty. We're gonna go with Michigan, man. Shout out to my subscriber that commented on one of my videos letting me know about this, man. So Michigan, a 5-star team here. When you go to this team, every single year it seems like they don't have any top players interested in them, and I'll show you. If y'all do enjoy the content, like, comment, subscribe, check out the Twitch as we'll be live streaming over there. But let's hop in, man. So, like I said, I'm going to start a brand new dynasty with Michigan. It don't matter if we create a head coach or go with our guy Moore. We're going to go with Michigan head coach and just sign. Just sign. I want to go over to the recruiting class, and I just want to show y'all how weird it is, man. And, I think it's going to be other examples of this in your dynasty. Unfortunately, it's 136 teams. I'm not able to check every single team in a reasonable amount of time. If you notice something similar with your dynasty, and the issue here, there's no players within the top 3 or within the top 2 that's interested in Michigan, man. Brand new dynasty. Y'all see me just start this. If we press triangle, come over to sort, and you could go by all the players in the nation and just do top 3, just see how many players. You have 3 players within the top 3. Out of all of the recruits in the nation, only 3 players. And you might be thinking that's not a big deal, but it's literally an issue. Like, that should not be the case, and especially when I show you what Michigan State looks like. It's almost like they flipped Michigan and Michigan State in this game. And you see, you got literally 3 players within the top 3. And, this is a 5-star program. This is a 5-star program with excellent grades. We're talking about a team that just signed the #1 player in the nation, man. And they have nobody, no 3 stars, no 4 stars within their top 3 other than these guys right here at the top, man. Like, that's insane to me. You do have a good amount of 4 stars you could talk to, but it's something we're going, even if we sort by state. When we sort by the state of Michigan, just see how many, these top players are interested in coming to their in-state school. And it's a good amount of, top players. But once you go over to Michigan State, you'll see it's so many more of these guys. So what I'm going to do here, just back out, and I'm going to just make a new head coach, or make a new player, and we're just going to take over for Michigan State this time, man. So we're not going to change anything. Same exact dynasty. Let's just go over to Michigan State, take over for their head coach, and let's just see. This is a 3-star, I believe, team. They didn't have a great year last season. Let's come over here to the recruiting board and let's check their prestige. So 3-star prestige, just the grades, but you come over here to the prospect list, and you have a ton of players have you #1. Yes, some of these players are 2 stars, but the amount of 4 stars, also 3 stars, so many 4 stars have them as #1. And you might, like I said, you might not be thinking it's a huge deal, but how is this the case? Like, there's no way this is, it shouldn't be a thing. Like, it's no way this should be in the game, in my opinion. Like, having guys #1 is actually a pretty big deal. You could get insta-commits, and insta-commits is completely game-changing. Is it rare? 100%. But when you do get them, it is game-changing, man. And, you see, for their in-state, they have a worse pipeline, a 4 compared to 5 for, Michigan. But you just have so many of these, 3 stars, that's good. 2 stars, probably wouldn't touch them. But just so many players as #1, man. Whether you 2 stars, 3 stars, and you finally get down, and you talking to 4 stars. You got 4 stars as your #1 school, man. And that's significant when it comes to, like I said, insta-commits. At least Michigan still has, players interested within their top, 5 to 10. But not having anyone in your top 3, that's weird. Like, what's really going on there, man? Like, what's really going on there to where, like, we have this many players from Michigan State? It's like I said, it's almost like they flipped them. It's almost like they flipped Michigan and Michigan State. They even got, 5 stars they could talk to within their top 3. So, and we're still scrolling here. You know, that's so many players that compared to Michigan, and it don't really make sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and start another dynasty because I want to continue to show y'all it's not just a one-time occurrence, man. You know, I did this about 5 to 10 times, somewhere in that range, and every single time Michigan just didn't have many players interested within that top 3. You know, I seen one guy, as you know, he was a 3-star, have Michigan as the #1 school. This time, let's start with Michigan State, and then we'll switch over to Michigan, and we'll see if the same exact issue happens. So let's look at Michigan State situation. Come over here, and guess what? It looks like a bunch of players as the #1, or just within the top 3. Honestly, a bunch of players. You know, and the farther you're on the board, you know, that means a lot. That means a lot. You know, usually a little bit easier to get them. You know, obviously a bunch of 2-stars here. So many 2-stars. But 3-stars, you get into the 4-stars. You know, just so many players at #1. So many chances of an insta commit. So let's come over here, same exact thing, create a head coach. We're just going to take over for Moore once again. We're going to come over here to Michigan, and we're going to take over. And let's just see this go around if it's going to be a little bit better. Like I said, sometimes it's a little bit better, but it's never as good as Michigan State, which really, like I said, just makes no sense to me. Come over here to the recruiting, press triangle, sort by top schools. We'll do top 3 once again, like we did before. You have one player within your top 3. We're #1. He's a JUCO kid. One player out of every single kid in the nation, only one player has Michigan in their top 3, man. Is that not insane? Like, that's nuts to me, bro. That's nuts. And, you know, but you do have like a lot of 4-stars interested. You're kind of just down on that board. But it just seemed like it's less players for you to go after. Like, it just seemed like so many less players for you to even go after, man. Let's just do top 10, and we should probably count. Like, just going from top to bottom. You know, how many kids is this? Let's count. 68 kids are interested in Michigan, and maybe that don't sound that bad, but when you go over to compare it to Michigan State, that number is going to go up into the hundreds, man. Like 68 compared to, it's 31 kids. These are, listen, I just sorted by 3-stars and 4-stars. You have 31 3-stars and 4-stars has Michigan State as their #1 school. 31. Michigan has 68 total players interested. From #1 all the way to 10, 68 players. You have 31. This is, like I said, just 4-stars and 5-stars. If I change this over to 2-stars, now that number is going to jump into the hundreds because you have so many 2-stars interested as well. But if I continue to just go by 3-stars and 4-stars and just do interested, you know, like I said, we stopped at 30 for just first interest. Let me keep counting. I am at 68. I counted all the way up to 68, and we still have 4-stars here, man. And we're only, you know, 4th in interest. This is 68 players from, you know, this wide receiver Mitch Hand all the way up to the top, just going by 4-stars and 5-stars and 3-stars as interested. It's 68 players here from that point all the way up to the top. And let's go back up to Mitch Hand, and you'll see it's going to be hundreds of players, and maybe not hundreds, but well over 100 players. We have Mitch Hand. Let's just go down for the rest of the players interested, and we got to go for a little bit. You know, we get into maybe, you know, just probably around 100. That just don't make sense. My issue here is this. We found this one. We found this one with Michigan and Michigan State. How many more examples of this is in the game? We don't really know. You know, you just might be going through your recruiting. You might not even notice, you know, you don't have any players interested. But here, this is really showing you that Michigan just has less players they could even recruit or, like, at least talk to. If I'm doing a rebuild where I can only go after players interested in me, I'm limited to 68 players in that other rebuild compared to here. You know, like I said, it's going to be more so like 100. And I'm just not sure if that should be the case, man. It's just something where I think it really has to do with, like, the school prestige. I think it's something weird going on with it, man. I noticed it last year. It's like when you're around like a 3-star prestige, you have like the combination of 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars that's interested in you, compared to when you go up to like a 4 to 5 star prestige. Now the 3 stars are not interested whatsoever, when that maybe should not be the case. You know, you only have 4 stars and, you know, the few amount of 5 stars interested, and like it kind of handicapped you for 3 stars, which is, you know, I said a little bit weird, you know, just because like Alabama still bring in 3-star players, you know, Michigan still brings in 3-star players, you know, everyone do, you know, that's the reality of it. So I don't know why it really works like that. And I also want to advance a year with Michigan. Let's go back over to Michigan and let's just advance 1 year and see what happens, man. And like I said, in my experience, I advanced multiple years in the future, and the same thing just keep happening, where Michigan will have less players interested, and also they won't really have players in that top 3. You know, which is like, I don't know if the coding is wrong. Like, y'all give me your opinions, which y'all think is wrong. I'm sure we're going to have one person say, oh, that's realistic. That makes sense. Michigan, whatever. No, there's something wrong with it. So we advanced 1 year. You see, we're in 2026 now. And let's come in here, man. Just look at our prospect list and see if it's going to be in a better spot. It looks to be in a little bit of a better spot. Perfect? Probably not. Top 3, you do get a longer list. You do get a longer list, man. And this is probably one of the best ones I've seen out of all my testing. Like I said, advanced years. Is it great? Maybe not. Maybe not great. You have, let's count, 1, 2, 15, 4 stars and 3 stars within the top 3. 15 for Michigan. Let's go over to Michigan State. Same Dynasty, still in 2026. Just looking at Michigan State, and you know, their school prestige has stayed the same. They're still a 3-star. And let's look at their top 3, and let's just do 3 stars and above, man. So now they kind of flipped, which is interesting. We only get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players here. 4 stars and 3 stars, of course. Now, if we go down to 2 stars, I'm assuming it's going to jump up because there's going to be a lot of 2 stars. Yep, that have us as a top school. Okay, so interesting. Let's advance 1 more year and just see what happened, man. There's some weird stuff going on here. We sent 1 more year, 2027. Let's look at Michigan here, man. So I don't think we checked the school prestige last year, but we are down to a 4.5 star. And we might have been down to a 4.5 star last year also. Let's come over to the prospect list and let's look. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, man. Top 3 interested. And the list has went down. Now we was at 15 last year, which was very good for Michigan. Now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players, and you know, they're from 4 stars to all the way, or 3 stars to 5 stars. 1 5-star in here. Not great. Not great. Let's just come over here to Michigan State and see if they'll have more 4 stars or 3 4s and 5 stars just within that top 3. Let's see the school prestige this year. It's up to a 3.5 star, so that might change something. We'll see how it affects just everything here. And then let's do the same thing. Let's sort by your 3 stars, or excuse me, your top 3, and I mean, you have more players. Let's also filter by 3 stars and better, just to be consistent. And you have more. Listen, it's consistently more players interested in Michigan State rather than Michigan. And I noticed this in my rebuilds. In one of my rebuilds, my Purdue rebuild, we're going through it with Michigan State stealing all our players. Like, I think we're in like 4 recruiting battles with Michigan State. All these guys are from Michigan. And Michigan, the regular Michigan, is not in the mix for any of these players. I'm like, yo, why is Michigan State just dominating all these recruiting classes? This is the reason. It's something janky going on. I also did some just quick testing with other schools, like other in-state schools. You know, I did Arizona and Arizona State just to see if it's a major difference between, you know, one school to the other when it comes to, because like I said, I think they flipped Michigan and Michigan State when it comes to like recruiting somehow, some way. And it wasn't as nearly as obvious with some of these other programs. I only looked at like I said, a few different situations with in-state schools like Arizona State. I also did Vandy and Tennessee. Then I did a couple of the California teams and really didn't notice anything super major. But for me to check every single team, it will take a while. Please let us know down below if you notice anything maybe janky with your team. Everyone combined watching this video has rebuilt every single team in this game. So like I said, if you notice something with your team, just say something down below and I'll check it, I'll test it. But definitely some janky stuff going on here, man. Well, at least Michigan and Michigan State. So shout out to Buddy that, like I said, comment that down below and let me know we tested it. And it's a real issue, man. But if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all boys. And we'll on to the next one.